Hello, Capricorn. This is your oracle reading for the month of February 2026. My name's Kathleen. I'm one of the spirit operators here. If you're new, I do things a little bit differently. I get psychic impressions from the images, and I also interact with spirit. And if you're not new, thank you so much for returning. Okay, so I'm sticking with the card layout that I was given during meditation. And so the card that we have up top here is going to represent you for the month of February 2026. And we're using the Rider-Waite tarot deck for that. And then the regular reading that I normally do is the bottom cards, and we're using the Mystical Journey Oracle deck. Okay, so let's take a look and see what's in store for Capricorn. So we've got the Hermit. So yeah, not a bad idea to spend February like a hermit. um, Indoors, safe. You know, I mean, if you're experiencing winter where you are, that's not a problem. Rather than being out in the harsh cold. But it's a good idea to just sort of look inwards, become more self-reliant, more self-trusting, trust your instincts, trust your intuitions. So they're sort of in need of maybe, shutting the devices off as much as possible this month, taking a breather from, media, and getting quiet and looking within, really learning to trust yourself and becoming more self-reliant. Okay, so that will be you for February. That's what's advised. Okay, so the first card that we have for you is the Path. And so on the card, there are a number of paths that can be chosen. And so you have, and you probably noticed that in your life, there are many different paths you could choose. And with some of this introspection that may be going on in February, try not to get too caught up in looking at the paths that you've already taken that have led you where you are, because you can always change things. I mean, if you're happy where you are, then there's no need to change. But looking back, there is a worry of attachment. You don't want to get overly attached to things, because everything can change in a moment. Everything. Your entire life can change in one moment. And the recent things happening in the United States is proof that everything can change in a moment. I mean, it's not funny, but it is absolute proof. So being attached to things that you could lose or that could change can be problematic. Okay, so there's more of a need to find out if you're happy on the path you're on, rather than beating yourself up for things that have happened in the past, or getting too attached to good things that have happened in the past, and feeding your ego. Look more towards having options in the future, being ready to take more than one path. So instead of looking for, an exact itinerary for your future, expand that, broaden it, because things could change and you need to be ready to adapt, okay? So there are many paths on this card. Be prepared for many paths. You can hope and wish and want to go in one direction. However, that may not happen. And if you are just stuck and focused on one singular momentum idea for the future, you could really tumble and fall. So try to broaden that and allow whatever's going to happen, that you will be ready for it and can adjust. Turn left at Albuquerque, turn right whatever you have to do. I'm just quoting Bugs Bunny. It's just, be prepared for circumstances to change. Okay? All right. So the next card we have here is letting go. And again, it sort of reflects the previous card. What was coming through is being prepared to release things. Like something may happen and now you've got to move, and perhaps you have to leave your house behind, your belongings. You've got to go. So be prepared to let go of things that really don't matter. We can get attached to a lot of things that honestly don't matter, right? And what we need to be focusing on is, keeping the people around us safe and happy, and try not to let go of those that are important and like-minded to us. So just there's this need of being prepared to let go just in case, right? I'm not saying that, everyone's going to have to move and leave their home, but be prepared. Like, what do you absolutely need to take? And need over want, okay? Try to emphasize need rather than things that you desire or want that are not necessary. And so just be prepared for change is what Spirit's saying. Be prepared for change. Okay. And the next card we have is New Dawn. Okay, well, it's kind of funny because I don't remember this card ever coming up before in previous readings. Maybe it has, but it's come up in a number of readings. I don't remember which ones, but it's come up in a number of readings this month. So there seems to be a couple of pink elephants at the side here. Their trunks up. And that's what's standing out for your reading. Okay, so this feels like a push me, pull me type of animal, type of situation, where perhaps you have two very strong candidates, two very strong options, but they seem to be not completely opposite. It's not like you have to choose which direction to go, east or west. But it's more like, do you want to go northeast or northwest? Okay, so they're not exact opposites. They are sort of, they're heading northish, right? So they're both sort of going in the same direction, but not completely and totally. And so there's a need to kind of look at that and figure out, do you want to go eastward or westward? Okay, I'm just using east and west just to sort of explain the idea, the concept. So however it's playing out in your life, do you want, which do you feel more of a pull towards? Which do you feel more assertive? Which do you feel more on par with? That it speaks to you more, it feels more natural. So take a look at that. Now, this could be a case of being pulled, right? Because we said push me, pull me, instead of the decision you need to make and which direction or which choice you want to make. It may be somebody or more than one person trying to pull you to make the decision that they want you to make. And so in that case, you need to be really, really careful. Because if that's the case, it's not just what what it's about, also who's involved. So make sure you know who's involved and who are the most trustworthy people, who have the most integrity, the most honor, the most honesty. Okay, watch for that, because if one choice seems the better option, but the people involved are not trustworthy, it's not the better option. Okay, so look at every angle within those choices to make the right choice. Okay, Spirit said to go to the next card. We have manifestation. So I don't know why, but I am seeing in the middle here, from how I'm looking at the card, I'm seeing like an upside down face of a bird, as though it's, and its wings are coming out. It's like it's flying upside down. I, that's not usually, I guess you might see a bird of prey diving, and maybe or it may do that to attack, but you don't normally see birds flying upside down. So Spirit just said topsy-turvy. Okay, so be careful with what's going on. Like, your life may become topsy-turvy in February, or even a little beyond that. Like we were saying before, like there might be sudden changes, things that were unexpected. So try to be prepared for whatever's going to happen. It's impossible to be 100% completely prepared for any and every option that may occur, but just try to, in general, be prepared, be ready to let go of anything that you need to leave behind in order to move towards safety and security and better way of living, better options. Okay, yeah, Spirit said that's it. So I hope this has been helpful. That's the end of your reading. Thank you so much for watching.